Saturday. School ended a week ago, and while everyone else is already enjoying their summer vacation, we've been packing. Toss. Mom created a binder and a schedule for everyone in the family, and we're all responsible for boxing up our own stuff. It's gonna be tight, but we should be done by the time the moving trucks show up next weekend. The person who's taking the longest is Dad. He wants to make sure none of his Civil War figurines break, so he's using a whole roll of bubble wrap for each one. Rip. Mom's been hoping our neighbors would throw us a going-away party, but with all the construction over the past months, we're not that popular around here. So Mom decided we'd just throw a party for ourselves. The party was tonight. We'd sent out invitations to just about everyone on our street, and we set everything up in our yard. Roderick was excited because Mom and Dad were letting his band play, and they were even paying him. We were still busy setting up when the first guests started to arrive. I wasn't sure if I should even invite Riley to the party, because I was afraid he might have another breakdown, but I was actually really happy to see him. His parents seemed happy too, and I almost got the feeling they were glad I was moving. Riley said he had a gift for me, which was a giant collage with a bunch of pictures of us over the years. And I'm not gonna lie, it got me a little choked up. Best friends. I was kind of relieved that's all Riley's gift was, because the way he's been acting lately, I wouldn't be surprised if he gave me one of his fingers or something. Riley said I could hang the collage in my new bedroom to remind me of all the fun stuff we did together. And I don't know if there was a lot of pond here tonight or what, but right then, I think I got something in my eye. Things were getting a little too touchy-feely for me though, so I was glad when more people started to arrive at the party. It picked up really fast from there. Roderick's band started playing out on the back deck, and the music attracted some teenagers who were at a high school graduation party a few doors down. Then it seemed like everyone on our street was at our party all at once, and it got crazy. Our party was pretty wild, but it was nothing compared to Manny's, and his party was still going strong when he turned in for the night. Sunday. I have to admit, last night was a lot of fun, but I'm kind of sad, because just when things are getting good around here, we're leaving. I was the first one in the house awake today, and when I looked out the window, I knew we were in for a long day of cleanup. I wished we still had that dumpster, because that would have made things a whole lot easier. While I was looking over the front lawn, 2 big moving trucks pulled up along the curb. I was kind of confused, because our move was still a week away. A few guys got out of the trucks, and one of them came to our front door, so I went out to meet him. The man told me his team was ready to start putting our stuff into the trucks, and they needed to come inside the house. By now, Mom had come downstairs and was at the front door. She told the guy he was a week early, and that the move wasn't until next Sunday. But he pulled out a contract that showed today's date as the moving day, and it had Mom's signature on the bottom. Mom told the guy she made a mistake and that we weren't ready to move yet. He told her the deposit was non-refundable, and that if we didn't move today, we'd lose the money we already paid. Now Mom was in a panic. She woke everyone up and told us to get packing. The movers said we had a 2-hour window to get everything onto the trucks, so we really had to hustle. Dump. Toss. Up to this point, we'd been really careful packing so nothing got damaged. but now there was no time for that. Slide. The movers really didn't care if our stuff got broken, and that's why it was probably a bad idea to let them pack up our dishes. Crash. Smash. Mom asked the movers to just focus on the furniture instead, and they went down to the basement to start there. Then someone rang the doorbell. It was the guy we hired to take the hot tub away, and his crane was parked in our front yard. With everything else going on at the house, this was pretty terrible timing. The crane operator explained that he couldn't get his vehicle into our backyard without running over our neighbor's flower garden, so his plan was to lift the hot tub over the house. That sounded a little crazy to me, but I figured this guy probably knew what he was doing. I showed the guy where the hot tub was, and he put some straps around it. Then he attached the straps to a giant hook and lifted the hot tub off the deck. But when he tried to back his vehicle up, he couldn't, because the movers had piled a bunch of furniture in our yard. So now the hot tub was dangling above our roof. As if the whole situation wasn't stressful enough already, all of a sudden Raleigh showed up in my front yard. But I didn't have time to deal with Raleigh, because now I had a new problem. That guy from Warren Street had pulled up in front of our house, and he was taking the furniture that the movers had left by the curb. And that's when I remembered it was Sunday, which is the day we leave our trash out. Dump. I tried to wave the guy off to make him go away, but the crane operator thought I was giving him a signal that it was okay to back up his vehicle, which is what he did. And that was the end of our living room couch. Crunch. The crane stopped, but the hot tub didn't. It started swinging in crazy circles above the house, and then it slammed into our chimney. Smash. The brick slid off the roof and just missed my parents, who had come outside to see what all the commotion was. Crash. After that, I thought it was over, because I couldn't imagine anything else happening, but something did. Some wasps had built a nest in our chimney, which explains how they were getting into the house all this time. And now they're loose, looking for revenge. We all ran for cover inside the house, but the crane operator wasn't quick enough to get away. The wasps flew in the cabin of his vehicle, which made him kick the lever that released the hot tub, which fell through the roof. And at that point, to tell the truth, I was kind of relieved, because now I knew for sure that things really couldn't get any worse. Thursday. There was one bright spot from what happened over the weekend, and it's that Roderick made it through the experience alive. The hot tub landed smack in the middle of his bedroom, so we thought he got crushed. But when the movers had hauled Roderick's bed out of the basement, they loaded it onto one of the trucks and took him with it. Everything else is bad news. The people who were supposed to buy our house pulled out, and that meant we couldn't afford the new one. So I guess that means we're stuck here for a while. To be honest with you, I'm not totally sure I was ready to move anyway. Looking for a new best friend would have been a huge hassle, and besides, there's so much more I need to teach Riley before I go. Sploosh. Gah! There's probably a lesson I could learn from this whole experience, like be happy with what you've got, or there's no place at home, or that sort of thing. But that's the kind of corny stuff they put in books for little kids. So here's the lesson I'm taking away from all this. Don't be late for an old lady's funeral, because believe me, she'll make you pay. Acknowledgements. Thanks to my wife, Julie, for your love and support especially during my deadlines. Thanks to my family for cheering me on all these years. Thanks to Charlie Kaufman for caring about every period, comma, and semicolon in these books. Thanks to everyone at Abrams, including Michael Jacobs, Andrew Smith, Hallie Patterson, Melanie Chang, Kim Lauber, Mary O'Mara, Alison Gervais, and Elisa Gonzalez. Thanks also to Susan Van Meter and Steve Roman. Thanks to my awesome, friendly Wimpy Kid team, Shaylin Germain, Anna Cesari, and Vanessa Jedredge. Thanks to Deb Sundin, Kim Havens, and the incredible staff at Unlikely Story. Special thanks to Chad W. Beckerman for your outstanding design skills and for your friendship over these many years. Thanks to Liz Frisian for all the green memories on our travels. Thanks to Rich Carr and Andrea Lucy for your outstanding support. Thanks to Paul Senat for all your help. Thanks to Sylvie Rabineau and Keith Flea for everything you do for me. As always, thanks to Jess Browlier for your continued support. About the author. Jeff Kimney is a #1 New York Times bestselling author and the 6-time Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Award winner for favorite book. Jeff has been named one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world. He is also the creator of Poptropica, which was named one of Time's 50 best websites. He spent his childhood in the Washington, D.C. area and moved to New England in 1995. Jeff lives with his wife and 2 sons in Massachusetts, where they own a bookstore, An Unlikely Story. An unexpected inheritance gives Greg Heffley's family a chance to make big changes to find their house. But they soon find that home improvement isn't all it's cracked up to be. Once the walls come down, all sorts of problems start to crop up. Rotten wood, toxic mold, unwelcome critters, and something sinister all make Greg and his family wonder if the renovations are worth the trouble. When the dust finally settles, will the Heffleys even be able to stay, or will they need to get out of town? Amulet Books, an imprint of Abrams, amuletbooks.com, at Abrams Kids, printed in USA. WimpyKid.com, at WimpyKid, US, $7.99, ISBN 978-1-4197-4575-1, 50799, 978-1419, 745-751.